Okay, are you ready? Wow. So we are now down to our fourth lesson. So last time we talked about the verbs in the present active indicative form. Today we have a brand new lesson, and I hope you will enjoy again our lesson about nouns. So there you have it. Our lesson is about the nouns second declension. That is module 4 in our book. And welcome to Greece again, Greeks. So our objectives for today's lesson is oriented with some Greek words and vocabulary. We'll be able to conjugate nouns in the second declension. We'll be able to memorize the definite article in its masculine and neuter form. And finally, be able to understand the meaning of the case and its function. So are you ready? So let's start. So for our vocabulary, let's start with our vocabulary. So the first word there is anthropos. Anthropos ho. So as we have learned before, the ho there is the definite article. So the person, it means person, human being, or man. So anthropos is a man. Next word is apostolos ho. So this is still a masculine definite article, means apostle. So it's like similar, no? Apostolos and apostle. Next word is artos. Oh, it is also masculine form. It means bread or loaf. By the way, the good thing or the peculiar thing about the Greek language is that masculine does not only pertain to human beings. It could be an object as well as things. So if it's neuter, it does not guarantee that it could be man or woman, or it could be an object rather, but a neuter could be also a person, as we can learn later on. So next is the word duron. Duron is now in neuter form. So it means gift. Next word is thanatos. Thanatos. Can you say it with me? Thanatos. It means death. You have hieron, that is now neuter form. It means temple. Next word is kai. This one is a conjunction which means and, also, or even. Next word we have kurios. This is also masculine form. It means lord or lord. It could be either a small or capital letter. We have the word lithos. Can you say it with me? Lithos. It means stone. Then we have the word nomos. Nomos. It means law. Next word is oikos. This is a diphthong. Oikos. It means house or household. Next, we have the word oklos. Oklos. It means crowd or multitude. And the last word is, this is huios. Huios. This is a rough breathing. That's why you read it with letter H. Huios. It means sun. Right? So let's proceed to the declension. Nouns are grouped into three categories called declensions. A declension is a group of nouns according to their endings, but it has no effect on the translation. The second declension is presented first because it is easier to learn and more nouns are in this declension than any other. So this declension is mainly masculine and neuter nouns. The predominant vowel sound in the ending is an omicron sound or the O sound. For this reason, it is called the O stem declension. O stem declension. All right, so that is the second declension. Next, let's proceed to the definite article. In Greek, the definite article is declined as a noun, but there is no indefinite article corresponding to English a or an To express the indefinite idea in Greek, the article is simply omitted. Thus, hologos, which means the word, but logos or word or a word. So sometimes you can see the word logos only, but it pertains to the word or a word. Later, it will be observed that under certain circumstances, a noun which does not have a Greek article can be translated as if it does. Usually, however, if the article is not present, the word should be translated as indefinite. All right, so let's proceed. The following chart shows the declension of definite article for masculine and neuter nouns. Yeah, you must master these forms. So it's important to master, to memorize this as we go along, since they provide the building blocks for many aspects of the Greek language. And usually this definite article somehow similar to the ending also of some of these nouns. The masculine forms are used in all masculine nouns, and the neuter forms with all neuter nouns regardless of the declension. Note that the definite article is not used with the vocative sense. Later we will understand what is the meaning of vocative. Okay, so this is the masculine, singular, and plural definite article. For the singular, let's read all together. The nominative is ho. You say it with me, ho. Genitive, to, to. Ablative, to. So as you can see, in genitive and ablative, it is similar. Dative, we have to with a iota subscript. So one characteristic of this is it has an iota below the omega. So that is called the iota subscript. To. Locative is still the same, to, and instrumental, to. So as you can see, the dative, locative, and instrumental are also identical. And finally, the accusative is ton. So let's read again. Ho, to, ton. For the plural, nominative is hoi. And we read all together, hoi. Very good. Then for the genitive and ablative, it's similar. It is tone, tone. For the dative, locative, instrumental, it is also similar. Toys, toys, toys. And accusative, toes. Let's read again from the nominative. Hoi, ton, ton, toys, 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 toes. All right. Let's proceed to the singular neuter form. So the neuter begins with a tough. So just add the tough and follow the endings, okay? So this time, let's read the nominative to. Genitive and ablative is still the same with that of the masculine, to. Dative, locative, and instrumental is the same with also masculine, to, with iota subscript. And accusative is different, it's just to. Notice the nominative and the accusative of the neuter are also the same. So let's read again the singular. We have to, 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 to. Very good. Right? Let's proceed to the plural. So in the nominative plural form, the omicron was changed to alpha. So it becomes ta. And then in the genitive and ablative is similar with that of the masculine, ton. So need to worry. And finally, in the dative, locative, and instrumental, it is still the same with that of the masculine. And that is toys and accusative. Notice that accusative and nominative in singular and plural are the same. So in the plural, it is ta. Okay, let's read all together from the nominative. Ta, ton, toys, 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 ta. Very good. All right, so master these definite articles because you will be seeing them along the way. So if you have seen this This form, you can know that it is either nominative, genitive, ablative, dative, locative, instrumental, or accusative. So the next question is, what are these terms? So we will learn also these terms. So for the nouns, noun is a word which designates a person, a place, or a thing. Of course, we have the proper and the common nouns. All the words in the vocabulary list in this lesson and nouns, as you have seen earlier, except kai, because kai is a conjunction. A Greek noun is identified by listing the nominative singular form followed by the appropriate article in the nominative singular. Later, some nouns will appear in the vocabulary lists with the genitive singular in order to identify their stems. You'll always know the gender of a noun by the article. So each noun has its gender basing upon its article. Either as of now, you have the masculine and the neuter forms or articles. In normal usage, the article will precede the noun. So normally, before the noun, there would be an article. But sometimes you cannot see an article, but it's just there. That's the Greek characteristic. All right, so let's proceed to the case. In English, nouns have lost most of their declined forms so that a noun can function as subject or object with the same form. So in English, you can see a word, example, the word man. So it could be the same, man. Either it is a subject or an object, it is still the same. For example, we say in Greek here, no, the example is the angel sees the apostle or the apostle sees an angel. So later I will discuss this. So in Greek, the subject, the object, and other functions of the noun all require different case forms. So if the subject or the noun serves as a subject, it's a different form. If it is an object, it also appears differently among other functions. So that is the case. So let's take a look at this example. The first sentence is Ho angelos blepe ton apostolon. So it means, Ho angelos means the angel, that is singular. And then blepe is second person, singular, sees, a third person rather, sorry. So it's a third person, singular, sees. We are talking about the angel, he doesn't know. And we have the ton apostolon, the apostle. So this is an accusative form. So the angel here is the subject. So it appears as angelos. The second example here is ho apostolos blepe ton angelon. And the meaning is ho apostolos means the apostle. We have the different article ho, and apostolos is in a singular form. Then blepe means sees also in third person. And the accusative here is the angel, ton angelon. So you have seen that the angel becomes the object and it appears differently. The same is true with apostolos. In the first sentence, the apostolon is and the accusative, it is the object, whereas in the second sentence, it is the subject. Okay, so that is how case works. So case has to do with the function of the noun as it relates to the verb or to other parts of the sentence. Greek nouns have four inflected forms, or five forms when the vocative form is different from the nominative. However, Greek has eight. Wow, no? So many. It has eight distinctive case functional ideas covered by these forms. The following chart shows the names of the cases. And of course, these basic meanings for cases are the same for all declensions. Some cases share the same forms. The genitive and ablative, as we have seen earlier, have the same endings. And the dative, locative, and instrumental are also identical. For this reason, or after classes, The cases which are identical will be listed together in the chart. So we have the GA, genitive ablative, and the DLI, dative, locative, and instrumental. Anyway, let's take a look at the nominative first. What is the nominative? Nominative is the case of designation. So it means it is the naming case. Its main use is that of the subject of the sentence or clause. So it is the doer of the action. So the example here is the sentence, Ho apostolos gnoske. So it means the apostle knows. So the nominative here is Ho apostolos. So that is the subject, the doer of the action. What is the action? Knows. So it's a Greek sentence in which the nominative serves as subject of the sentence. So also we will learn other uses of the nominative later. All right. So is the nominative clear? Very good. It is the subject or the doer of the action, designation. The next case is what we call the genitive. The genitive is the case of description. When a word appears in this case, it specifies or qualifies the word or idea it modifies. So it is a modifier. In a phrase, we have the phrase here, ho oikos to apostolon. So that is the sentence. Ho oikos is the subject and apostolo, to apostolo, is the modifier. That's why it is in the genitive case. So the genitive apostolo describes oikos by telling to whom it belongs. It is the apostle's house. So to oikos to apostolo means the house of the apostle. So remember, if it is genitive, it is belonging also or description of the apostle. The genitive has also other meanings that which will be observed later. Okay, so is that clear? For the genitive, it is a case of description or belongingness. Next, we have the third case, which is the ablative. The ablative is called the case of separation. It uses the same form as the genitive, but it has distinct function. So somehow, as we have seen earlier, that the genitive and ablative has the same forms. Let's take a look at this phrase. Ho apostolos pempe to stolos to oiko. So it means the apostle, ho apostolos, pempe is sent, in the third person, sends. Tos dolos, the servants. So tos dolos. And of course, the last is to oiko. That is in the ablative form, from the house. So for the genitive, it belongs. For the separation, for the ablative, it is from the house. So to oiko is ablative indicating separation. Greek also has prepositions to help nouns express these functions, but the case alone may convey these ideas. Okay, so just using the nouns or the case, you can know the function of these nouns. Okay, let's proceed to the next one, which is the dative case. The dative is the case of reception. Wow, reception. So a frequent usage is to express the indicative indirect object of the verb. Let's take a look at the example here. Ho apostolos lege to oklo. So the apostle is speaking. The apostle, apostolos, speaking. Lege is speaks, no? Third person, to the crowd. So to oklo means to the crowd. So the dative is identified as to, recept. He receives, no? So the crowd receives the spoken word given by the apostle. That's why to oklo, indirect object of the verb. No? So the direct object is not found here, but the indirect object is the crowd. So to oklo is in dative form. As you can see, the peculiar characteristic of the dative, it has omega at the end with the iota subscript. Okay, is that clear? Dative is a case of reception. Next, we have the locative case. The locative is the case of location or position. Of course, locative, location. The form is the same as of dative, so similar also. And it example, ho apostolos didaske to oiko. It means the apostle is teaching in the house. So the location is where? In the house. So it's similar with the dative, which is to the house. This one is in the house, depending upon its use. Okay. Next one is instrumental. So instrumental also uses the same form as the dative and expresses means or instrument, as name implies. So very, very obvious. So let's take a look at the phrase here. Ho apostolos didaske nomoes. So it means the apostle teaches with laws. So instrumental is, it uses the nomoes, the laws. So here nomoes is the one that is instrumental. Okay, next we have the accusative. Accusative is the case of limitation. So the action extends to and is limited to the object. So the main usage is the direct object. So let's take a look at this verse or this passage. Ho apostolos didaske toi ton weon. So it means the apostle teaches the son. So the son here is the accusative or the direct object. So as we have seen earlier, like the apostolon, the angelon, and weon. So that is the accusative case. So it is a case of limitation. Is that clear? All right. So let's take a look at the next lesson. Okay, by the way, ton weon is the accusative. The next, of course, case we have, the last one is the vocative case. The vocative is the case of address. Some kind you are calling the person by its name. No? You're addressing the person. So in the plural case, this case always has the same form as the nominative when it is in a plural form. But the singular form are often different. Example here is adelphe blepo oikon. It means brother, I see a house. So adelphe, adelphos, if it is invocative, you change it with the e. Adelphe. Blepo means I see, that's first person singular, and oikon, a house. So we can see here what is the noun which is in the vocative tense or case. It is adelphe. All right, so that's it with the case. Let's proceed to this next characteristic of the nouns. They are the gender. In English, we consider objects which are not related to the male or female sex to be neuter in gender, right? So if it is an object like the cell phone or this mouse, it is what? It is, of course, a neuter. But in Greek, like many other languages, designate some inanimate objects or ideas as masculine or feminine. So an object could be masculine or feminine depending upon its character. No? So Greek nouns can be masculine, feminine or neuter, and you must learn the gender from the vocabulary. So you don't base it upon the gender of a person per se, but it depends upon its form. So as I've said earlier, it could be the person could be a neuter also, depending upon the form of the word. Example, paideon. So that is a person, but it is in the neuter form. Okay, let's take a look at the three genders. Of course, we have the masculine gender, we have the feminine, and the neuter gender. So let's take a look at the word order. Word order is essentially in English to determine the function of a word in a sentence. Greek had more freedom in the arrangement of words because the case endings revealed the use of nouns and other words in a sentence. The order of Greek words was often for purposes of emphasis, variety, or simply for pleasant sound. Wow. So just the art of using it for so that it would sound pleasing to the ear. Sometimes in English also, when you read or when you make grammar, you need also to listen if it is pleasing to one's ear. So the case endings, not the word order, determine the use of a word in a Greek sentence. So you don't just follow the order. No matter where the order is, just look at the case and you will know the meaning of that word. Is that clear? All right, that's enough with the word order. So let's proceed with the forms of second declension. Representative nouns of the O stem declension are in the following charts. So any second declension with an acute accent on the antepenult will be accented like anthropos. You can see anthropos, we have an accent there. That is what we call the acute accent. So it is in the antepenult, anthropos, anthropos. With any with acute or the penult will be accented like logos. So this is logos, logos. And then any with the circumflex on the penult will be accented like doulos, doulos. So any with the acute on the ultima will be accented like weos, weos. All right, so let's take a look at the masculine nouns. For example, the noun anthropos. So anthropos is in its base form and it is also nominative singular form. Let's read anthropos. We have the genitive, ablative. Let's read all together. Uh, okay, so this time when we will read the nominative followed by the vocative. So the vocative addressing is anthrophe. And then genitive, accusative, we have anthropho. Similar form. The dative, locative, and instrumental, anthropho, and the accusative, anthrophon. For the plural, we have nominative and vocative is the same. So later in our exam or quizzes, remember that you need to follow the NV, no? NV, Valentine, no? NV, gadaliak. So that's the pattern you need to follow. NV, gadaliak. So for the plural, for the NV, nominative vocative is anthrophoi. Anthrophoi, anthrophoi. And for the ga, which is genitive ablative, anthrophon. Li, dative, locative, and instrumental, anthropos. And of course, accusative, anthropos. All right, so that's how you decline or conjugate the masculine nouns in its singular and plural forms based upon its case. Let's take a look. Very good. Let's take a look at another word, the word logos. So let's read the word logos in its conjugation from the nominative, the nominative vocative, no, and the kadale, ak, singular as well as in the plural. Let's read all together. Logos, and then vocative, loge. logo, logo, logon. Plural, logoi, logon, logois, logos. Logos. It's not the rape of logos. It means plural words. No? Okay, so very good. Those are examples of the masculine nouns. Let's take a look at the examples of the neuter nouns. We have the word here, duron. It means gift. So gift. Let's read it. The NV is still the same. No? So in the neuter, of course, the nominative and vocative are the same in the singular and the plural. But thus, in the masculine, only the vocative singular is different from that of the nominative. So let's read the singular neuter noun duron. Altogether, duron, duro, duro, duron. So notice that the nominative, vocative, and the accusative are the same in the singular. For the plural, dura, duron, durois, dura. As you can see, the nominative, vocative, and accusative are still the same in form. So it's not that hard to recall. Okay, very good. Finally, let's try one more time. One more verb, and that is the verb, the noun rather, hieron. Hieron. So let's read from the nominative, vocative, singular form. Hieron, hiero, hiero, hieron, hiera, hieron, hierois, hiera. So it is pronounced differently, by the way, because the first vowel, the breathing is in the first vowel as well. So that's why you need to read it separately. No? So it's a different vowel or a different syllable. And it is a rough breathing. That's why it's pronounced with the H. Hieron. Okay, very good. Let's take a look at the declension. It is the grouping of nouns according to its ending, but has no effect on the translation. So the changing of the nouns according to its ending, that is called declension. For the masculine, the endings, let's read all together. The singular, go. Os, o, on, e. Very good. Next, plural. Oi, on, ois, os, oi. For the singular, neuter, this is the neuter form. Let's read all together. On, o, o, on. Very good. And finally, the plural. Ah, on, ois, ah. So those are the endings of the masculine and the neuter forms. Okay, very good. So let's recap also the case and the basic function. The nominative and is a case of designation. For genitive, description. Ablative, separation. Dative, reception. Locative, course, location. Instrumental, means or instrument. Accusative, limitation. And vocative is the case of address. Very good. Let's proceed to the gender. Of course, there are three. We have the masculine, the feminine, and the neuter. But of course, the second declension is usually composed of the masculine and the neuter. Let's have exercises as we conjugate. Let's take an example of a masculine noun, the word thanatos, which means death. So for the nominative, that's why we'll follow the NV act. Now, as you can see, NV, nominative, vocative, genitive, ablative, dative, locative, instrumental, and the accusative. So that's our pattern. So do not be confused because in the book it's different, and here, so that we have a very good uh, proportion with the other side. Okay, so 5 on a singular and 5 also in a plural. Let's read. Thanatos becomes in a vocative thanate. Genitive ablative thanato. Dative li thanato with a iota subscript. Accusative thanaton. Very good. For a plural, we have nominative thanatoi. Vocative thanatoi. Genitive ablative thanaton. Li thanatois. And accusative thanatos. Okay, let's read it one more time from the top. Go. Thanatos, thanate, thanato, thanato, thanaton, thanatoi, thanatoi, thanaton, thanatois, thanatos. Very good. Wow. I think you're getting it already. So in our exam, in our quizzes, we will just take a look at that example and memorize the endings. Let's take a look at the neuter conjugation. An example here is the word himation, or garment or clothing. So again, himation is, it is in the rough breathing. That's why we read it as himation, himation. So let's read the nominative, himation. Vocative, himation. GA, himatio. DLI, himatio. Accusative, himation. So the NV and accusative are the same in the singular as well as in the plural of the neuter nouns. For the plural, nominative, himatia. Locative, himatia. GA, himation. Li, himatiois. And accusative, himatia. So nominative, vocative, and accusative, singular and plural, have the same forms. Of course, different in the singular and in the plural, but similar in those 3 cases. So let's read from the top again, all together. Are you ready? All right. Himation, himation, himatio, himatio, himation. Plural. Himatia, himatia, himation, himatois, himatia. Very good. Okay, so thank you. In Greek, Evcharisto. God bless, and I hope that you don't forget to answer your assignment and your quiz. It will be available later in our Canvas, your Canvas account. And see you tomorrow for the next lesson. God bless. Evcharisto.